It was trial tribulations and life storms that came before I got to this place. So I had to take the rocky road first in order to get where I'm at. I mean, what shaped and molded me and helped me with the job where I'm at today, as being like further as a child, being misunderstood, um, being violated as a child sexually, um, growing up being in a domestic violence relationship, um, going out young, taking ecstasy pills, drinking, um, being in prison. Um, that very well just shaped me of who I am today because I had a lot of experience. I lost my mom when I was in prison. I came home, my children was in diapers. I had to fight to get them back. When I went in prison, I didn't have no education. But when I came out, I took the time to take care of me. So what I did was I came home, I was on a straight and narrow course. Everybody was like, come on, let's get drunk. We're going to get lit. That wasn't my thing anymore. I didn't have time to get lit. So I came out and I did what I had to do, as a person, as a mom, and as a child. And I did what I had to do as a, child of God. So I wound up getting my associates. I went back, got, my college degree. I wound up getting my kids from diapers and, started working. I was volunteering, many different places, panels, just speaking about my life stories. And me, it was like a testimony. So it wasn't nothing that was so like hard for it to come out. It actually helped me release and become who I am. So the more I, talk and speak about it, the more that I know I'm helping somebody else. Samaria DeWalt. I work at Urban Lead of Union County. Let's see. Well, actually, I'm a peer recovery specialist there as well, so I play that role. I'm also the outreach coordinator there, and I also do office work is there as well. I would say during the time I finished with my associate's degree, I was thinking about, furthering more of my education. And at that time, I had took a break because the pandemic came, so everything was like online. So I was like, okay, I'm gonna take this break. And I thought I was gonna, finish off. I started at Rutgers, but things just wasn't working out right. So, I just prayed and said, okay, what's going on? So I took time out, had a conversation with God, went in my secret place. And then I realized that, God was speaking to me and he basically was saying, I am, your master because the first thing I wanted to do was get a master's degree. So I'm like, okay, God, so I need a master's degree because in this world you're gonna need a degree. He said, I am your master. I said, okay. I said, but God, but I need to, make more money so that I could get this and get that. He said, if I take care of the birds, I take care of you. So I'm like, well, you know what, God? I said, well, living in this world, we're gonna have to have, a degree, a master's degree to even make it. He said, where you're going, you're not gonna need that paperwork. So I'm like, wait a minute, because everybody was telling me, go get this and go there. So and I wonder why things wasn't working out. So sometimes we have to learn to check in, with God or whatever your higher power is, in order for you to move forward and not just go by what you want or what somebody else wants. So I said my last thing to him, I said, well, God, I really did want to be, in the office there, so that I could, run things, but humbly, run things. And he said, I made your feet to tread upon many territories. So once that was said, I said, okay. And I just released everything, released my thought and what everybody thought was good for me. And then the next day, I got a phone call from Ms. Waters, who currently works at Urban League. And she said, hey, I think this would be a good fit for you. And I'm like, what is it? And she was like, to become a peer recovery specialist. So she told me about it. She told me about BMI. And, I jumped out, on faith and I went and here I am today. And it's been a beautiful experience just to be a companion, to help others, alongside of them from what I've been through and to be here today. And I can honestly say it was a great experience, what I went through. Um, because I'm able to help others. But it was trial tribulations and life storms that came before I got to this place. So I had to take the rocky road first in order to get where I'm at. So yeah, that's how I got there. I mean, they took their time with us. We had our interviews, and it felt just like right at home. It didn't even feel like an interview, even like in a class, but taking the courses and the training and everything. And I learned so many different things, different words, because back when I was young, anybody that was introduced to drugs or anything like that, we would look and call them like crackheads, like, oh no, they crackheads. So they changed the language from, devouring people, having stigma, on individuals. So I mean, I definitely learned a lot, and I couldn't be happier or more joyful that I had this under my belt now. And I'm just so thankful and grateful, for BI Ministries, just for, having individuals like me, because they welcome, a lot of people from different walks of life. A lot of jobs that you go to, you can't work there because you have a record, or you can't do this unless this. So they took the stigma off, and they don't have restrictions on nobody. They let you be your authentic self. They don't look at you for your past or what you've been through. They look at you as moving forward, who you are today, and they actually bring out the gift that's inside of you. They bring it out. And I guess that's why they call it Blessed Ministries. I also was in Trenton, and as said, locked down 24 hours. So I was in solitary confinement for a whole year. And a lot of people couldn't understand, how did you do that? Why didn't you go crazy? Ain't no way, too many people could survive that. But I looked at it like, when my mom passed in prison, I was around people all the time. People, people, people. I never had a chance to get to myself. So when I went to solitary confinement, that was my time of peace. That drew me closer to God. I was able to release. I was able to cry. I was able to have time to myself. And that's what I did in solitary confinement. I turned everything around. And I'm just happy that I was a willing vessel to let God to be able to use me to turn it around. Because I can't say I really did it. So I do give all glory to my higher power.
And what's the most rewarding part with that?
Helping people and having compassion. And I tell everybody, no matter where you go, you have to take yourself with you. So if you have compassion in your heart, and that's something that you have, and that's the gift that God gave you, then just let him use you, because it's gonna work on others. So it's like I would say like a domino effect, or it's like contagious, because I love to come around a person, help them, bring them joy. And when I was in a dark place, that's what I needed. I needed that fulfillment. So I'm just giving back to what others, gave to me, because I could tell you one thing, even in the dark, your own shadow will leave you. When you stand in the light, you'll see your shadow. But once it's dark and them lights off, your own shadow will leave you. So I think that's pretty much deep. So I just try to shed light, to anybody and everybody that I have an encounter with. I'm not perfect. No, I'm not. I have my days. But I mean, gracefully, yes. I would say give yourself a shot. Bet on yourself, and stay focused, be encouraged, surround yourself around positive individuals. I definitely would say that. Change your people, place, and things, because that do play a major part. Know your triggers as well, because if you don't know your triggers and you're just learning them, learn your triggers, know your triggers, and just be true to thyself, and just stay connected, say higher power, surround yourself around positive people, and just give yourself a shot. Just bet on you. Bet on you.